Greetings. We continue today our study of the final invitation. We're looking at the fulfillment of the Davidic covenant. Today we go to the description of Jesus in Revelation chapter 3 and verse 7 in the message to the church at Philadelphia, which speaks to the fulfillment of these words when it says, "Thus saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth, and no man shutteth, and shutteth, and no man openeth. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, when it shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast that thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches." And then as we come here to Revelation 22, verses 15 through 17, we find the fulfillment of this purpose and promise, particularly in Revelation 22:16, where he says, "I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches, in the Lord's assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star." I believe we should stop for just a moment to make a comparison and a contrast. In Revelation 21 and verse 8, it speaks about the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars. And it says, "They shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." So that verse tells us that those who have been habitual sinners in this area are part of that group that have been consigned to the eternal lake of fire in Revelation chapter 20. By contrast, when he speaks here in Revelation 22 and verse number 15, describing some of the same kind of people, these are saved people, but though they're saved, they were not deemed to be faithful ones to God and included in the bride because of their habitual disobedience to God's commands after salvation. And yes, they're saved. They're not in the lake of fire, but they're not privileged to live in the New Jerusalem. So they dwell outside of the city, as we have read, and they bring their honor and glory into the city. Now, finally, Matthew 22, verses 41 through 46, address and clarify the statement in Revelation 22:16, "I am the root and offspring of David." We should note that this immediately follows the question of the people and Jesus' answer about the great commandment in the law, which I think we're all familiar with in Matthew 22, beginning at verse 5 and going through verse 40. And then it says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, "What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?" They say unto him, "The son of David." He saith unto them, "How then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord, Jehovah the Redeemer, said unto my Lord, my Adonai, my Master, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool." If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And verse 46, "And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst or dare any man from that day forward ask him any more questions? You see, the answer is as simple as it is complex for our finite minds. Jesus, who is eternal God, as John 1:1 through 3 says, was David's creator, just as much as the Father and the Spirit are said to be the creator of all things in God's Word. And as such, he is his Lord. But according to the genealogy of Mary, he was the son, quote, or we would just simply say, in general terms, the descendant of David. So when Jesus returns to earth, as God has predicted, and as Revelation 19 has already affirmed, he will take the throne of David, as Daniel prophesied in several places in his book. During the millennial and the eternal reigns, Jesus himself will fulfill the Davidic covenant, which God has promised when he promised David an heir that would take his throne and rule forever. I trust that you'll be part of that kingdom and not be part of Satan's kingdom, which will be banished to the eternal lake of fire.